What's going on, y'all? It's your boy AC back with another video. And after 3 or 4 times watching this fight, I got to give my thoughts on this fight right here. The fight I'm talking about is obviously, Jarrett Hurd versus Lara, unification fight at 154. This was a pay-per-view worthy fight. Truth be told. It was a tale of 2 fights. The first 3 to 4 rounds, I was giving it to Lara. He definitely controlled the ring. He had a lot of energy. He was a lot more active. He threw, he wasn't as economical as I thought he was going to be. And he did that the first, within the first 3 to 4 rounds. And he pretty much controlled the flow of action. But the second half of the fight, I mean, I don't know whether it was Lara's age or whether it was just the pressure. He just started coming on, bro. Like, man, he is the Terminator, bro. It just seemed like that man is determined. You know who he reminds me of? Jarrett Hurd. He reminds me of Antonio Margarito. Not much on defense, which I'm sorry to tell Jarrett Hurd that he's gonna have to focus on his defense, bro. He cannot. I don't know if he can keep that type of style up against these guys that can crack at 154, namely Charlo. He could do it against Saddam Ali. He'll smash Saddam Ali. Charlo is a whole different monster altogether. I think Charlo can crack. I think him being hittable is not going to be good. But we're going to talk about that just a little bit later. But, yeah, the pressure wore on Lara, bro. And I think it was more mental than physical because Lara, he looked exhausted going into the 10th round, 11th and 12th, and we know that he's used to, he trains for the marathon, you know what I mean? And he looks for escape routes, but he chose, but number one, it was a dumb game plan, but to fight in the pocket as much as he did. But what do we put that on? Do we put that on Hurd's pressuring him? Or do we, or is this something that Lara chose to do? That still remains to be seen, I don't know. But one thing I do know is that, bruh, like, Hurd is probably the best pressure fighter in the sport. He opened my eyes to that. This fight, this fight was extremely close. This fight was extreme. I think 10 round, was it round 10? Was a swing round that I couldn't score to save my life. What do you give it to? You see what I'm saying? Do you give it to effective aggression, and ring generalship, especially in the second half of the fight? Ring generalship and effective aggression was clearly Jarrett Hurd. It's been a while since I've seen Lara not dictate the pace of a fight, especially going deep. And he just lost all control of this fight. He was forced to fight in the pocket. I'm just gonna say that he was forced to fight in the pocket. I'm just saying. Jarrett Hurd needed to win the 12th round, and he did it, in a spectacular fashion. He did it 10-8. Like I said, he caught Lara with that 2-piece, caught him with that little uppercut, and then came with that left hook. Boy, man. But what was it though? What was it Landy's Lara? What was it? Lara's age catching up to him, or was it? You know what I mean? Was he just mentally, mentally spent? Because I mean, it's not often you see dudes just keep coming at you and it wears on you physically. It wears on you. It wears on you. He just keeps coming. And I think Lara has never seen anything like that. I mean, the Angulo fight was one thing. But this dude outweighed Lara about 20 pounds. Like I said, he was younger. And he just kept coming, man. He kept coming. He kept coming. Like I said, he doesn't have a lot of defense, but he just keeps coming. So the knockdown, the 10-8 round and the 12th round is what sealed it, is what won it for Hurd. Big shout out to Jarrett Hurd. Okay. Jarrett Hurd is now on my personal pound for pound list. He unified the IBF, right? The IBF and WBA. And on top of that, he effectively ended one of the longest title reigns, I think, in the sport of boxing. Landy Lara is being the WBA champ for as long as he's been. He ended that reign and he became unified. He is on my pound for pound list. He's the number one guy at 154. It is what it is. Do I think Charlo can beat him? I think so. I think Hurd's lack of defense. It's not even his lack of defense. When he comes, he doesn't mind. Like I said, he reminds me of Margarito. He doesn't mind taking two to give you one. And somebody like Charlo, the way he's been knocking cats out lately, you know what I mean? I think ever since he got away from Ronnie Shields, he's been sitting on his punches more, and he just been cracking. He just been cracking. So, I mean, hey. I think Charlo beats him. That pressure style ain't gonna work against Charlo, bro. Charlo has good boxing skills and he can crack. So, I think he got some stuff he needs to clean up before he goes after Charlo. I want to see him. I want to see whoever go undisputed. Jarrett Hurd will be nice going undisputed. I think Charlo beats him, and I think Charlo goes undisputed. But that's neither here nor there. But Hurd needs to work behind that jab a little more. He needs to work behind the jab. You know what he can do? Marcos Maidana. He can look at fights from Marcos Maidana when he got with Robert Garcia and he started to work behind the jab. When he started to work behind the jab, it became he got real nice. Marcos got real nice. I think Jarrett Hurd, him being as young, him being as big as he is, him having the reach advantage, he needs to come in and work behind that jab and then just start pouncing. I think that'll work for him. I think that type, his ability and with his work rate and what he does, I think that'll be good for him. He should be throwing that jab out there a little bit more. He needs to do that. He just can't come in head first. You know what I mean? But I gotta give it to him, man. He's the best pressure fighter that I've seen. He wears on you physically. He wears on you mentally. And he beat one of the better fighters. What do we say about the Cuban school, Cuban boxing? There's Landy Lara. I don't think this is Lara's last fight. But I don't think he'll be the same after this fight. You know, him, Rigo, Luis Ortiz. Boy, the Cuban style took massive losses this year. But that's the way it goes. I think all those brothers, I think my Cuban brothers was all of them was old anyway. So I want to see what happens when the next wave of Cuban fighters come in. Really though, that's what I want to see. So, thank y'all for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy AC. I am out. Peace.